These are the tips that you need to know about filmmaking if you want to get noticed and get more work. Now, these tips aren't focused around the content creation side of things, but instead about the business side. And please don't make the mistake of clicking off this video thinking that filmmaking is just all about the content creation side of things, because I can assure you it's not. To create a successful business, you undoubtedly need to have good content creation skills, and there are many YouTubers on this platform that will provide you so much value in that area. There's actually too many of them, which is why we decided to focus on the other side, the important side, the thing that actually makes you money. Now, when we combine the two, you've got a pretty good looking business that should generate a lot of money. But unfortunately, what a lot of videographers do is they focus on the creative side and not enough time on the business side. Really, it should be 2/3 of focus on the business side and then 1/3 on the creative, because the business side is responsible for finding the clients, getting you in front of the right people, creating those opportunities, making those sales, and re-signing them or getting them onto contracts or getting repeat customers, growing your team, creating a studio, buying loads of equipment. That is all the business side. But in order to have a successful business that's long lasting, I completely understand that you do need to be quite creative and you need to develop your skills over the years, get as much experience as possible in a whole different range of industries so that you are most suited to what the clients are looking for. Now, luckily for you, this video is going to cover some key things that you really need to know. And these are some really common mistakes that people make. And certainly I've seen it through people who have signed up to our course, the Perspective Academy, until they learn the strategies needed to turn their businesses around and get a constant stream of work. So throughout this video, I'm going to be covering how to get a portfolio with big clients, how to make your video production company look like a legit big business, even if it's just you. I'm also going to be covering camera equipment, sales strategies, and how to get noticed. So make sure you've got a pen and paper and let's jump straight into this. So this is a bit of a chicken and an egg situation where you kind of need some big clients to sign more big clients, and you kind of need to look like a big production company before you can become a big production company. So how do we tackle those two things? Well, having a business that resembles a production company, or at least an established freelance videographer, you're going to need to position yourself in the right way. And the way you can do this is simply by looking around you. If you look at what other production companies are doing and what other freelance videographers are doing, and you can kind of mimic that. Not copy, but mimic and kind of make it your own. It'll give you a good understanding of the kind of things you should be doing. The first thing, and this is a pet hate of mine on this channel, so many of you have the email address businessproduction@gmail.com. You need to set yourself up with a proper email address. I've said this so many times and still so many of you haven't done it. I know it costs a bit of money. It probably costs like $5 to $10 a month to have an email address, but it's so important. The second we started to do that in our business was the difference between me signing 5 clients a year and signing 20 clients a year. So it makes a huge difference. People are willing to have a conversation with you because it's less risky for them. If you look like a bigger business, there's going to be less risk involved. As a decent sized business ourselves, if we start looking at working with suppliers and they have a Gmail email address, I'm not going to work with them because number one, it tells me that they're not taking their business seriously. And secondly, it tells me that I don't really know what I'm going to get. How long have they been doing this? Because you would suspect that if someone's been doing this for 5 years, they would have a proper email address. So it already makes me not trust them. And if I don't trust them, I'm definitely not going to put my money there. So change up your email address. The other thing you can start to do is look at your website. Start to make it look as if you're a bigger company. Start to use terminology that you would expect to find in a bigger company rather than on the About Us page saying, "Hi, my name's James and I love to go down the pub at the weekends," or "I like to trampoline on a Sunday." People aren't going to care about those kind of things. And even if you're a freelance videographer, you need to keep it in relation to the kind of industries that you're targeting. So if you're targeting the real estate industry, then what you need to do is make sure that your website starts to reflect that. You can showcase pieces of your work within the real estate industry, and I'll talk to you about that more in a second, about how you can build a bigger portfolio, but you need to make sure it speaks their language. Use those buzzwords so that it gives the illusion that you've been around in this industry for a long time. Even if you're young and you're 24 years old and you're just starting out and you've got very little experience, by doing this really makes a big difference, because ultimately you haven't engaged in conversation with them. And this is why the business side of filmmaking is so important, because creating this persona around your business is the reasons that people will start conversations with you in the first place. If you're not doing these fundamental tips properly at the moment, then that's going to be hugely damaging to your business, because people just won't want to talk to you. Whereas if you look like a big business, then guess what? Big businesses are going to be open to having a conversation with you, even though it's just you, but they don't know that yet. So try and make sure you're doing all of these tips. Look at other production companies and start to mimic the type of things that they're doing for your brand that speaks the language for your customers. So your website's looking good, you got a good email, you're starting to generate a bit of interest. How do you start to get a portfolio that features really big clients? Well, there's a kind of hack here, but I'm going to say it very gingerly. And the reason I say that is because I've had a lot of messages in the past saying, hey Ross, I've created this fake advert for Audi or Ferrari or whatever, a car company, a real big brand. You know, is this something I can feature on my website? And my instant answer is no. You can't start to tell people that you've worked with these clients. And also, when you look at the type of work that Ferrari and these huge brands put out, and then compare it to a beginner filmmaker who's created a fake advert, even if it's good, it's not going to have the production value of what the brands are putting out. So there's an instant disconnect. So I go onto your website and I see this Ferrari advert. I think, oh, that's really cool. Even if it says, you know, like fake Ferrari advert that we've created. When they go and look at it, they're going to be instantly comparing you to this standard. And when they see even something this standard, it's just not going to cut it, and you're going to start damaging your own brand. But here's the tip. What you can do is you can go to your local supermarket, you can buy some products that not many people have heard of, small brands, and you can start to create some videos for them. You can even then message those brands and say, hey, I was shopping at the weekend, I noticed your chocolate bar, and I just thought it'd be really cool to make a video. Would you mind taking a little look and let me know your thoughts? You might be able to then start a conversation with them that actually leads to business. You can also feature that kind of stuff on your website, but don't say that they're part of your clients, because they're not. You've just taken the initiative to create some content for them. That way, if you're starting to do some work in the food and beverage market and you approach another chocolate bar manufacturer, when they look at the video that you've created, their standard isn't going to be up here. If it's an unknown brand, their standard's going to be pretty low. And when they see the nice video you've done, even as a beginner, that's going to be really, really powerful. And you're going to, as a result, be able to start conversations with those people, because you're able to over-deliver on the initial thoughts of your business. If you guys are finding some value from this video, if it's pointing you in the right direction and you're finding it useful, then please hit that subscribe button. It's completely free to do so, and it's the only way that we can know that we're doing a good job, and therefore we'll keep releasing more valuable videos. On top of this, it really helps with the YouTube algorithm. It enables our videos to reach a wider audience, and as a result, that means that we can help more people. It's taken me a number of years to grow my video production company from a desk in my parents' living room to having a studio, a team of people working for me, and traveling the world working on some major projects for some global clients. And I want to share as many of the failures and the successes with you as possible, so that you can get to where I am and surpass me in a much quicker time. And if the thought of that excites you, then I'm going to quickly plug the Perspective Academy, which is my online training course. We've currently got a free event that I recommend you sign up to, and it will teach you how to create a predictable cash flow for your business month on month. It's the system called the RCP that's enabled us to sign so many clients on regular monthly retainers, meaning that we know exactly how much money we're making every single month at a minimum. And with that, it's enabled us to grow our business, and it means we haven't got to be worried about not knowing where the next job's coming from or when we're next going to get paid. I'll leave a link in the description below regarding that, and now let's move on to the final 2 points. If you're a long-time viewer on this channel, then you know my thoughts on camera equipment. Now, what I'm gonna say here, as to not get an onslaught of comments saying, camera equipment, I love camera equipment, and that is, camera equipment is helpful, but not essential. Now, before you start commenting, let me just explain myself a little bit more here. The mistake that so many filmmakers make is that they go into debt buying the best camera when their skill set hasn't surpassed what's possible with the camera that they currently have, a beginner camera, or even at a midpoint, or even as an experienced filmmaker. We love tech, I love tech, we love buying the latest stuff. But that's the quickest way to go into debt and have a failing business, is to spend so much money on camera equipment when you can't guarantee you've got that money coming in to pay for it. With the RCP system, that enables us to do that, which is why we're able to buy lots of camera equipment. But if you don't have something like that in place, then you really need to stop suffering from imposter syndrome, where you worried that you're inferior and you're not able to do the job that you are capable of doing. And you need to start working on your own confidence. You need to start understanding what is possible with your camera and really analyze when is a good time to make that investment to upgrade your camera gear. I see a lot of people on the course that have just spent so much money on the latest cameras, which is great and really exciting, but it's not when they then are struggling to find more work. They're always playing catch up. And that's the reason why I have this mantra: get the best clients first and then the best equipment. If you're taking a 50% deposit up front, then you can secure the job with the business side of filmmaking. All of that stuff I've spoken about has enabled you to secure the job with the client. Once that check is cleared, use that money to invest in camera gear for that job. That way you're ahead of the curve because you've got the money coming in, you're able to invest in the camera equipment, you're no doubt really good at the creative side, and you can then better your overall quality, and then it's not going to have much of an impact on the business side of your videography business. Now, my final tip is to get noticed. And as simple as it sounds, you need to step outside your comfort zone. You need to make sure that you're putting yourself out there, because people won't just stumble across your business, especially not if you're starting out, and especially not if you're a freelancer as well. So you need to start generating some noise. You need to make sure you're posting lots on your social media channels, posting lots of behind the scenes content, telling your friends and family, going to networking events, talking to people about referrals if you're already working with businesses at the moment. I appreciate I'm talking really quickly here, but make lots of notes, because these are fundamental issues that so many businesses have. And if you can take advantage of them, then you're going to be in a much better position than 99% of people who just sit there and don't do anything. If you follow the strategies in this video, I guarantee that 2022 is going to be a much more successful year than 2021. Please don't make the same mistake that sees so many filmmakers stop altogether because they just can't get their businesses to work. Make sure you're in the 0.1% of people that action this content. Take advantage of the free training event we've got, and give yourself the best chance of success. If you're looking for more valuable content, then check out either of these videos. They're absolute bangers and you won't be disappointed. Make sure to like, comment, and subscribe. And until next time, peace.